It's time to mind your business with me, Jamillah Lodge. Tune in to find out how to mind your business with BEDC, special guest entrepreneurs, industry experts, and more. Brought to you by BEDC. Bermuda Business starts here. Welcome to Mind Your Business, Adrian.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You know me. I'm your host, Jamillah.
Of course.
But no, thank you for coming back on the show. And today we're going to talk a little bit about your new venture, which is the Esports Summer Camp.
Sure.
Now, before we do that, let's talk a little bit about you and what even got you to start Big Island Games.
Sure. So I'm Adrian Lodge. I'm founder of Supatone Ltd, and one of our branches is Bermuda Island Games.
I said Big Island Games. The acronym is big.
We're not big yet. We're getting there. So yeah, Bermuda Island Games is a mobile development company, and Supatone also does website and mobile app, development.
Okay.
So that's really where we started from.
Okay. Well, thank you for joining us. So we've been on the show before and we've talked about some of the other ventures that you have, but this time we're talking about the Esports Summer Camp. Why Esports?
Sure. So it wasn't even my idea, to be honest. A mate of mine just kind of suggested it and said, when kids go to camps, they're not really focused on the actual camp these days. They've got their cell phone in their hand. They're not paying attention. Bermuda doesn't have any camps that are dedicated to video games specifically for that purpose.
Right.
So that's, that was his suggestion. I said, you know what? This is the year to do it. We want to engage, how many people are actually interested.
Mm-hmm. So what does that entail though? So you're saying to me, we're going to spend all day inside playing video games? That's the plan?
We're going to spend majority of the day. So we want to break it up so that they have breaks in between. We don't want them sitting in one spot for too long.
Right.
Because that's obviously bad for, posture. We're also going to cover stuff like nutrition. Give them all the different tips and tricks. Not just, how do you play this game, but also, how do you improve your lifestyle?
So are you focusing on any specific games, or is it going to be like whatever game you want to play, you get to play?
Well, it's both. So if a kid has a specific game that they really love, they can actually bring it with them.
Okay.
If they have it on their phone, or say they have a Switch game, they can actually bring it to the camp and play that. But what we want to do is make sure that we cover just the games that are approved by parents.
Okay.
So because the age group is from 8 to 14, you're not going to have Call of Duty or some of the more hardcore games.
Darn it!
Right? But we want to make sure that kids, have a fun and safe place that they can actually grow and, be around others who enjoy the same things that they do.
Yeah. So for me, when you say esports, I think about competition, right? Like, and there's this like a whole industry around this where you have leagues and teams of people competing against each other, playing video games, by the way, and you have spectators and the whole nine. So are you looking at moving kind of into that venture? Like, will there be any competitive or competition portion of the camp?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So every week we're going to have fun kind of tournaments and activities every Friday for the kids to kind of compete. It's going to be casual, obviously, because it's a summer camp, but it's to get them prepared. So if that's something that they want to do professionally going forward, then, they can say, look, I've been to this esports camp. I've improved. I've gotten better at this.
Did you say professionally?
Professionally, absolutely. So I'll give you just a quick statistic. Baseball in the U.S.
Yes.
They have up to 79 million viewers as of last year.
Right.
Esports has up to 84. That's just to give you, the direction where things are actually going.
Yeah. This is what I'm saying. Like I saw where there was this huge competition. I don't know whether it was in Vegas or where it was, but it was like stadiums of people watching teams play against each other. And there was a cash prize and award. The same way you get drafted and all that kind of stuff. They were drafting team players and all of that and actually getting paid to do it. So I guess for those parents like me who are like, you're going to ruin your brain playing these video games all day. maybe there is an upside to all of this. So.
Absolutely. So that's what we want to encourage, is to get them to see this not only as recreation, but if they are serious about it, then this would be, a step forward. Say, okay, I'm going to focus on this. I'm going to actually practice and get better at it.
Okay. Well, I want to talk to you a little bit about the business kind of component of this. Talk to you about Bermuda Island Games, aka Big, and Supatone, and talk to you about how you're diversifying kind of your revenue streams, right? Because Bermuda Island Games is initially creating games, right? And so now you're moving into this kind of summer camp space. How does that fit in with your overall objective for your business?
Sure. So part of our mission is to grow an industry in Bermuda, because obviously one doesn't exist.
Right.
That's where we're starting from, is ground zero, right? We want to get people to join together as a community. We do have a Discord server for those who know what Discord is. It's a social media dedicated to gaming.
Glad you explained that, because I'm raising my hand. I did not know.
Yes. And again, we've put on other events as well. So we just finished the Video Game Design Challenge, and that's less about playing games and more about building games.
Right.
So, we're attacking this from both angles, right? We want to hit the people who, I've got an idea for a game. I don't just want to play it, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think it makes sense what you're doing, right? You're building a industry in Bermuda from scratch, so you have to address all of the issues, right? It's like, I got to groom my future, either employee or business base, who could be working for Bermuda Island Games, or you could be working with them, like maybe they are working with you to build out the game. So good on you, right? for creating your own demand and also creating your own supply, if you will. So tell me a little bit about the camp, the days it's running, the cost associated with the camp, and remind us of the age range that you're targeting.
Yep. So it's going to be from the last week in June 27th. It's going to run weekly.
Okay.
So you can sign up on our website, BermudaIslandGames.com, and you just pick whichever weeks you want. So that goes all the way through until the last week in August.
Okay.
And we do have a break for Cub Match. So,
well, of course. Like, if you didn't, you would be in there by yourself playing games.
That's
Maybe not, though, actually. Maybe not.
So it's going to run for 8 weeks total. And again, that's going to include not only playing video games, we also have lessons. So we have experts who are going to come in and give, their advice to the students.
So experts meaning people who are very good at playing a specific game.
That's right.
Oh.
So we have experts locally who we're reaching out to currently to say, you know what, I need you to give us a speech on cyberbullying, for example, and explain to me, what experiences do you have in that? How do you get around that type of thing?
Okay. So that's something that the parents want to hear.
Exactly.
And the kids are like, what? I'm going to skip that week or skip that. No, let me stop. No, I think it all works together, right? Because literally when you're playing games, this is what I gather or glean from watching my son, right? Because I don't do it. I don't think I have the patience, right? After a couple of times I've gotten killed, I'm like, okay, I'm over this. But he stays the course. But it's almost like this separate universe within the game, right? So you're talking to people, you're engaging with other players. And so I guess when you talk about cyberbullying and all that stuff, it's relevant, right?
That's right.
Because if you're getting killed all the time, well,
Yeah, so we have a range of different topics that we want to focus on.
Yeah.
So like I said, even just things like posture. I'm terrible at posture. I need to be in that lesson and see, how can I improve when I'm playing games?
Right.
So,
really?
Yeah.
What? Okay, forgive me. I'm dating myself and aging myself, but I guess you have to like it. You have to love it, right? And to be honest, there's quite a few. I always think my son, my husband, my brothers, but there are a lot of young women who are gamers, right? That's what they do.
Absolutely.
So there's anybody can attend the camp.
That's right.
Okay, so you said ages 8 to 14.
Yep.
Okay.
And it's going to be held at Work Academy.
Okay. And how much is it?
It's $300 a week.
And so you can pick what weeks you want to do and what weeks you don't want to do.
That's right.
Okay.
And if you sign up for all 8 weeks, you get the 8th one for free.
Oh, look at that. We like a little deal now.
Right. We also have another deal where if it's a sibling,
yes.
So, an older brother or sister, you get the second one half off.
Oh, nice. Well, thank you for that. We like that very much. Now, is this something that you want to be doing, holding the camps or hosting camps? Is this something you want to do on an ongoing basis? Because, people are in school, schools are out. Are you looking at doing this, or is this something that's going to be done more annually?
Yeah, I think it will be annual. We want to continue this trend and try and get more interest in it. Okay,
and playing games.
Yeah, not only playing, but you have to understand, you have to play games in order to understand how to build them, right? That's key.
That is true, is it? Do you? Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He's like, I said it, so that means it is true. Okay. So I guess what I want to understand, or what you could talk a little bit more about, is how you're going to get the bodies in the seats. Like, who in an ideal world would be attending this camp and participating in the camp?
Sure. So we have up to 30 people because obviously there's limited space.
Mm-hmm.
We want to get, at least 20 each week.
Okay.
I think that would be ideal. So that way you have a range of different people. Some people want to play this game, some people. So you can have the different variety that you're looking for.
I'm trying to envision what the setup is going to be. Is everybody going to have their own console? Are you only playing Xbox or PS5 now? Is it PS? I don't know which PlayStation we're on. Is it Switch going to be in the mix? How do you determine what games?
No, that's a great question.
Devices.
So we've got all of them, right? We have PCs, which are provided by the school.
Okay.
We've also got a Switch, an Xbox, and a PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're more of a PlayStation kind of person, then you can play that. But we want to not only limit you to one device, we want to get you exposed to say, you know what, I don't have an Xbox at home. Let me try this out and see how that goes.
So do you have multiple ones, or do you have to book out the time on the various devices?
Yeah, so that's where the camp coordinators are going to come in. They want to make sure that all the kids have access to the games, as they come.
Okay.
Right?
So signing up, you pay the $300, mm-hmm. and that $300 gets you what?
So you get, once you pay the $300, you're confirmed for the week.
Okay.
So you can sign up, you show up on the Monday, right? Then we'll have registration. We'll go through, just set everybody up, make sure you pick the games that you want to play.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get a schedule going so okay, I'm just watching these guys and then I'm coming on next.
Okay.
Type of thing.
So it's like playing pool, or, you got a tag in sort of situation, put your name on the list. Okay.
And it's funny you mentioned pool. Work Academy does have a swimming pool.
Mm-hmm.
So we're also going to be doing physical activities, not just video games, right? You want to break it up so they're not just continuously doing one thing.
Right. I'm sure the kids who are gamers don't want to hear you say that, but their parents are pleased.
Exactly. And again, that's why it's important to have a coordinator who understands that. No, you got to take lunch breaks. You got to, stand up, stretch,
mm-hmm.
and then you can go back and play.
Okay. So the end of the week culminates with a tournament?
Yes.
Okay.
So the Friday is going to be more kind of tournament style, whereas the Monday through Thursday, like I said, it's going to be broken up by video games, physical activity, and lessons.
Okay. Well, this is fancy. I haven't heard one like this before. I think that it sounds fun. Yeah. I think if I was a gamer, I'd be into it, right?
Exactly. And see, that's the thing. Because we've never had one, you never want to be the first to try something out, because then you're taking a risk.
Right.
But that's just what
entrepreneurship is. I was going to say that's kind of what this is. It's all about taking risks.
That's right.
But calculated ones, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you've been in this space. You kind of have. I would imagine that gamers already have sort of a network.
That's right.
Is there one in Bermuda, so you can go directly to them and say, "Hey, look, sign up for this camp. Guess what? Your parents are going to agree for you to play games all summer.
Yep.
Come to the esports camp."
Yeah, and again, part of growing a network, growing a community is we do have a Bermuda Esports League.
Okay.
Right? So myself, Bermuda Island Games, we were one of the founders. So we also have Gamers BDA. That's another community on Facebook. We also have Red Bicycle. They're another founder. And Pole Spring. So shout out to Bermuda Esports League.
All right, Bermuda Esports League. So you are grooming their future membership, if you will.
That's right. And again, we want to get back to, growing them if they are serious about competing. If it's just casual, great. You can come, play games, and enjoy yourself. If you want to take this more seriously, then this is the way to do it.
So let me ask you this. You know how they have the Olympics, right? And you have teams that represent each country.
Yep.
Is that a thing for video games
Absolutely.
and gaming?
That's right.
So Bermuda could have its own league then?
Yes. There's nothing stopping us. We just need enough people competitive enough in one particular game.
Yes.
So, there's the M2 World Championship, and that's broken up by teams by country.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's exciting because I think that's an opportunity to showcase Bermuda as a whole, as a nation, on a world stage for something that, our young people, not so young people, are doing for leisure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then there's an opportunity to get a broader kind of recognition and all of that. It's amazing to me, really. Right. It really is.
And again, that's why, I thought that this camp would be a perfect opportunity to, let people try it out and see, you know what, let me see if this is something that I want to do.
Yes, yes.
Because at 8 years old, you're not going to know what your future is going to be.
No.
All I know is I like video games.
Exactly.
Let me try this out.
Exactly. So, I mean, it's really great to see you taking something like this or taking your business and branching out, right? You're like, okay, well, we're not building video games this time around. We're going to nurture those young people who have the desire to play them, right?
That's right.
And then see if you can turn it into something that can be bigger and broader than that, like competitive gaming, right? I can't believe
now at the same time, we are still building games. That's a different
right. And so in my mind, I'm like, okay, he's creating his own supply, right? So if he can get the people interested and they're like, oh, I wonder how they made this work, then you're like, hey, come over here and
so yes, we are going to leverage, the camp to see, you know what, we have this game. Why don't you try it out? Give us some feedback. That's a great way to get users' perspective on a game.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well done, sir. Very entrepreneurial of you, I might add.
Thank you. I learned from the best.
See that? I paid him to say that, yeah. No. So I'm really excited for you. I always love seeing what you come up with. I'm anxious to see what the next game you're going to build is going to be. And look, you've been in the trenches. You're trying to get this industry started in Bermuda. So kudos to you, because I'm sure it's not been easy.
Nope.
But definitely know that it's a passion of yours. It's evident. So I'm excited. I hope that this is a successful camp. I can't see why it wouldn't be. Right. Like so your ages are 8 to 14, but we know the gamers come in all ages.
I know. I've had parents say, look, my kid is 6 years old, but he loves games,
Yeah.
So we've actually had to turn away some people, say, we can't take people that are too young because then they're not going to be that comfortable with people twice their age.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, and then maybe it's an opportunity because it's your first time. So for the next camps, maybe you can have like the smaller groups if you have enough in the 6-year-old group. So now you have these little groups, but who knows? You might blow up. You might be like, we're not building no more games. We're having camps.
That's right. The other thing I would just want to point out is we have to be SCAR certified.
Yes.
So all of our instructors are going to make sure that they go through that training and get certified to protect the children.
Perfect.
Right?
Perfect. That's definitely something that the parents want to hear, right? You want to know that I'm entrusting my child to a competent, certified and qualified person. So can you talk a little bit about some of the games that are going to be showcased?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have, one of the favorites is Fortnite. That's probably one of the most violent, but it's still child friendly.
Is it? How is it violent and child friendly? Now I'm confused.
I don't know how they got away with that, but they are eligible for people, at that age
range.
Group.
Okay.
We also have, more, I guess, simulation type of games. So you have Minecraft, you have Roblox, you have You've got Microsoft Flight Simulator. That's another game where you just kind of, fly around.
What about like driving games? Are those a thing?
So we've got Mario Kart, for example.
Okay.
Yeah. You've got like you said, the driving games.
So I think the one that I've seen my son play most frequently, shout out to my son Zaire, is FIFA.
Yep. FIFA is another game.
Okay.
So we've got the, traditional sports games as well.
Okay. Because, it's like Esports summer camp. If you didn't have it, I'd be like, side eye.
Right. So if you want to see a list of all the parent-approved games, you can go on our website, BermudaIslandGames.com.
Okay.
And check out, what are some of the games, what are some of the topics that we're going to be covering, etc.
Well, Adrian, I mean, like I said, I'm thrilled that you're doing this. I think the gamers in Bermuda are going to be thrilled. The ones that are 15 and older might be a bit disappointed, and the ones that are 7 and younger might be. But that's nothing saying that you can't support them or have something for them the next time around, once you know that this is going to be a hit.
Absolutely.
So the last thing I want to talk a little bit about is, what do you envision in an ideal world for Bermuda Island Games? Like, what is your wildest dream when that business is all grown up?
Sure. So obviously we are in the game development industry, which means we want to start releasing games, and we're going to do that shortly.
Okay.
We can have another conversation like this once we have a game that's actually released.
Okay.
But yeah, we want to see, it grow from just a handful of people, artists and programmers, to an actual company, right?
Okay. I had a chance to meet a game developer when the Forbes 30 Under 30 came to Bermuda. They did that residency here. And I know I'm going to get the name wrong. I think his name was David. And he developed a samurai sword game or whatever.
I remember that.
Yeah, you remember that, right? And he just built this game, and now he's this famous person. Everybody plays the game and all of that. So when it comes to identifying the type of game, do you care, or are you looking for just that talent to sit in a room, pretty much like you just come up with ideas and see if you can build it? Like, how does the process work?
Sure. Actually, that's a good point. So coming up with the next game, that's always a challenge. You have to see what's hot in the market and kind of predict from there. What is it that people like to play or are going to want to play by the time it takes us to actually build it. So yeah, that's a skill in itself. But that's also a good point. We do have another video game design challenge, which is coming up at the end of summer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
BDC doesn't know yet, but they're going to help us with that as well.
See? Look, he put me on blast. Now it's all recorded. Everybody can see and hear everything. But no, we like supporting that, right? We like supporting new business industries. This is an opportunity for young people to get involved and to start businesses. So we're all on board with that. So where we can support, we certainly will. Now see how he did that? You like how he did that? Okay. But no, I just want to say thank you. Keep up the good work, right? Because I definitely think that this is something that is supporting our young people. It's something they're interested in, right? And it is something that they can choose to build a career out of. So if this goes well and you continue to build, and maybe the next big video game will come out of Bermuda. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yep.
That would be awesome. Well, all right. Any last words, any shout outs that you'd like to give to people? Remind them of all the details.
Sure. So shout out to Work Academy for hosting the actual event. Like I said, you can go on BermudaIslandGames.com to sign up, see all the information. And, shout out to BDC, Ocean 89 for having us.
All right. Well, thank you very much. And like I always say, if you don't mind your business, who will? All right. Thank you, Adrian.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to Mind Your Business with me, your host, Jamillah Lodge. Tune in next week, Thursday at 4 p.m. because if you don't mind your business, who will? Mind Your Business is brought to you by BEDC. Bermuda Business starts